Okay. Fifth time's the charm. So I'm trying to get myself to join the meeting. Is this going to work? Is she going to show up? And all right. There she is. You always come in with an echo. It's a little frustrating. It's a little frustrating. Let's see if we can get rid of that echo. You're muted. You're muted. I think it's okay. I'm going to try it and see like that. Okay. How's it going? I think it's going okay. All right, let's get this going. I had something specific I was going to talk about today. All right, get the show on the road. Get it going. I always start this and I'm always a little bit nervous, which makes no sense because it's just me, myself. And apparently I is more nervous than anybody and doesn't want to show up at all because I never shows up. It's just me, myself, and not I. All right, so what am I nervous about? That I'm going to get it wrong. That's what. See, it's that perfection thing again. But it can't be wrong, right? And plus, I'm just practicing these, seeing where they're going to go. And all right. Anyway, I did have something in mind to talk about today. Why don't you go ahead and say it then? So I was going to tell you today I was making a pie, an apple pie. And yes, I make a lot of pies. But this particular one was one that I got out of Kate McDermott's Pie Camp book. It's the apple maple ginger bourbon pie, which is delicious. And it's so many flavors, all my favorite flavors. So while I was slicing the apples, for some reason it occurred to me that I always, when I slice apples, remember this apple pie I made in high school. It was a long time ago. But it was this apple pie. I think it was actually called apple pizza pie. And I had found the recipe in a magazine, and I had a magazine picture that I was following in addition to a recipe. But every time I slice apples, I think of that recipe because the apple slices had to be so perfect. I had to make them so perfect. I cut them so close, each one exactly the same size. I had to core the apple exactly right so that each shape was gone. And mostly this was because this particular pie, this pizza pie, it wasn't a pie in the same way. It was a flat pizza kind of a situation. And I had to arrange all those apple slices all the way around in one layer, sort of overlapping each other all the way around. And it had to look like the magazine picture. So perfection again. And those were the early days when I was really just trying to make things right, make everything right. And if everything in my life was right, then everything would be okay and it would all end okay. I was very young then, naive. And I still am quite a bit naive. But I think about those apples now as I'm chopping. And I don't really care now what kind of shape they're in. I try to keep most of them the same size because you don't want them to be not cooked when they're done. But anyway, now it's not. I definitely don't worry about the perfection, but I was focused on everything looking like that magazine picture. And isn't that really kind of it? That magazine picture in our minds, whether it's like how we decorate our living room, how I designed my office. Well, my office remodel is just from my head. A little bit of it is actually from, it's not from a magazine picture at all. It's from a book I read, The Velvet Room, when I was a kid. I don't know if you guys know that book, The Velvet Room, but it was an escape for a young girl where she would go to read. And and it was all velvet, of course. Of course, my office is not velvet. It's just a lot of colors and a lot of books. Anyway, I was thinking about that apple pie today, and it made me think about how we try to get these magazine pictures part of our life being so perfect, like a magazine. And Pottery Barn catalogs, things like that. Or maybe I just do that. Yeah, maybe just you. No, I doubt it's just me. But we can't, can we? I mean, nothing is a photo shoot. Certainly not, you know, my house. Certainly not a photo shoot most of the time or ever, really. But it did make me think about that. And I also was going to start making this so that it wasn't just me, myself, and I. So these early versions of this vlog, am I thinking about these things? Like I said, I get a little nervous. You get nervous about everything. It's not going to be a magazine. It's not going to be a TV show. It's not rehearsed. I do come up with something in my head that I'm going to talk about. That's me, her head. And, but I don't have a plan. I don't have a script, I guess I should say. But I am going to have some people, so it isn't going to just be me, myself. It's going to be myself and someone else. And I'm going to have some interview questions for them. So I'm going to try answering them first, because again, this is just practice. So here's one of the questions. Who or what motivates you to persevere even when you just don't feel like it? That kind of applies to this vlog too. I'm trying to persevere, and I feel like this vlog is a way of trying to keep it going. It's just my way of putting some thoughts down on Zoom. And what motivates me? Just a little promise to myself sometimes, like even making sure I ride my bike every day. Just, I remember how good it feels on the other side of it, riding, even if it might becomes hard. On the other side, it's a little easier when I think about it. So if I can think about that, getting up to do yoga, think about how good I'm going to feel that day when I've stretched. What's my favorite place to be? That would have to be the kitchen, I guess. You know, I was going to say my writing desk. Yeah, you corrected yourself, or maybe I corrected you. But yeah, I was going to say my writing desk, but actually my writing desk makes me nervous, and that's where I am right now. And, but the kitchen, I have learned to not worry about being so perfect about things. Like I talked about those apples, and nothing's going to look like a magazine picture, is it? Or maybe it will accidentally turn out to look like a magazine picture, and that's sort of what I'm hoping happens, not by forcing it, but by just practicing. Practice is how you get to perfect, right? So the only way to practice is to do it. So here I am, practicing this. And then why do you think we are here? That's question number 3. It's kind of a weird one. It's very, I don't know, woo-woo. It is, isn't it? But I still like it. Why do you think we are here? I'm curious to know what people are going to say. I think we are here to create. Every single one of us. Every single one of us. Even if we're I don't know, a dog catcher. They're here to create. They're here to create happy dogs. They're here to create a safe place for people. Even an arborist. They're here to make trees happier and healthier and create happy trees. Even a school janitor. I'm here to make a nice, clean school. And if we think about our jobs as creating rather than just doing, maybe that makes it better. Ooh, is that something new? Surely someone thought of that before. I'm sure they have. Yeah, I'm sure they have too. What makes art or writing perfect to you? Well, I think that's a hard question. See, here I am trying to answer these questions that I wanted to know what other people were thinking. And you didn't think about what you would think. So here I am. What makes art or writing perfect for me? To me? To me. Oh, I think maybe it's just when it sort of starts to flow on the page, or when I get an emotional reaction. Yes, when I actually do something like cry or laugh spontaneously. That's when I feel like what's there on the page has come close to being what it's intended to be. Maybe perfect's not the right word. Perfect's never the right word, is it? Or maybe it is. As long as you don't take it too seriously. You can't take perfect too seriously. Maybe that's the key. Nothing should be too serious. That's the way I feel about most things. So which do you think? Perfection is good or is it bad? You know, I think that question came up for me a few weeks ago because striving for imperfection could be misconstrued. While I'm saying it somewhat sarcastically, striving for imperfection, because can you really strive to be imperfect? I think we're sort of naturally imperfect, or at least I am. But perfection can be something you can try to achieve. And while that can cause problems if that you're never satisfied because it'll never be perfect, but striving for the best you can be, which could be close to perfect. Like that apple pie was a fun pie. That was probably my first pie I ever made. There was something kind of nice about that. I think it did intimidate me to go back to the kitchen though. So I guess my answer is I think perfection can be good and it can be bad, depending on how you look at it. Oh, you're so easy. Yes, well, there you go. There you have it. Yes, well, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't worry about being perfect or not. Oh, it's my fault, is it? Yeah, I'm going to blame you. Because I's not here. Well, if I's not here, we should blame I. Yes, I should get blamed for everything. All right. I don't know how long this was. I'm trying to keep these short, mostly because, again, this is practice. Here I am practicing. Look at me practice being on a vlog. And I'm going to say goodbye. And perhaps my next one, or not, I might have someone join me. I have someone in mind. Actually, I have a few people in mind. And we shall see. All right. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel down below, or find me on YouTube, or put a comment. Let me know that you were actually here. What'd you think? What did I do right or wrong? Is this perfect? Remember, it's just practice. It can't be perfect. Anyway, or is it imperfect, I should say, because I'm striving for imperfection. I think you've achieved that. I do too. All right, on that note, bye everyone. All three of you.